Hello, friends. Well, here we are, week number 2 of the month in our Joy Challenge. And I wonder how you're doing. Have you been saying your daily affirmation? I have mine on my computer. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. How has that been going? How about giving yourself a score, 1 to 5, on your joy level? Today would be a great day for you to check in on that. How are you feeling? And look over the last week since you started the challenge. I have loved seeing all of your posts, by the way, and see if you're feeling like you might be ready to give yourself a little bit of a higher score. If not, totally fine. And I'll tell you, I have noticed, and especially it happened yesterday, I noticed that instead of actually feeling more joyful, I was feeling the opposite of that yesterday. And I was so confused because I was like, wait a minute, I'm on like hosting this joy and love and pleasure and self-care challenge for the month. And I just I don't feel great today. I feel kind of like, rough around the edges. So I allowed myself to be in the state that I was in. I still did plenty of self-care and self-love. I went and spent a couple hours at the coffee shop working on some things and journaling and having one of my favorite golden milk lattes and taking a salt bath last night. So I did a good bit of my self-care. I just couldn't quite get myself to a place of feel good or joy yesterday. And what I realized when I woke up today is that is actually something to be celebrated. So if you are experiencing the opposite of joy, or maybe you're like, ugh, I don't know what happened. I feel like I was flying so high. Maybe you're going through the same thing. And what happens oftentimes is anytime we get out of our comfort zone, we actually go into what's called our upper limit, and we'll sometimes sabotage ourselves back into the place where we feel comfortable. So let me give you an example. This may look like if you were on a diet and you're like so good and you're like drinking your celery juice and you're like intermittent fasting and whatever else you do. And then finally you get to this place where you're just like, enough. I want to eat a donut from Dunkin' Donuts, and you just go do it. Then you sabotage and beat yourself up and give yourself a hard time for that. Well, that oftentimes happens whenever we go outside of our comfort zone. So for me, it was just like this general feeling of like, God, I'm never going to get over this. I'm going to feel like crap probably for the rest of the week, if not for the rest of my life. And how am I going to get through this joy challenge? But when I woke up today, it dawned on me, oh my gosh, I know exactly what's happening. I'm outside of my comfort zone, and there's something inside of me, my ego side, wants to sabotage that and pull me back in where it feels comfortable. So I share that with you because maybe you're feeling like you're in the same place, or maybe you're not, and maybe you will at some point get there, and maybe you won't, because maybe you're just used to being a happy-go-lucky, joyful, pleasure-focused human. Gosh, there's not a whole lot of those out there. So if you are one of those naturally, then more power to you. I love it. And anyway, what else do I need to tell you? I think that is all. Oh, I need to tell you what this week is going to be all about. Well, this week, I don't want to do anything differently than what we've been doing, which is sharing photos, sharing posts of the ways that you're caring for yourself, you're loving yourself. It is Valentine's week. So I will say maybe some extra special attention on your heart and loving your heart and focusing on heart breath, and maybe looking into the heart math meditations. And I'll put a link in the comments to some of their work that I'm a really big fan of. And just practicing massive self-love. And you can keep score with yourself. Continue to keep score on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being like feeling really joyful and full of light and full of feel good, and 1 being the opposite. So you can score yourself daily. Keep doing your something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today, and see what happens from there. And then another fun thing that you can do is you can get some stickers. It can be anything from like those little dots or even stickers that your kids have laying around, and put them in different places in your house. And every time that you see them, tell yourself that you love yourself. And that can be like your little love game for the week. as you continue to do all the things to care for yourself deeply, to love yourself deeply, to focus on your own pleasure and your own feel good so that you can be a cup that's running over and ready to give that love to all the wonderful people that are in your life. So there you have it. It's going to be a magnificent week this week, and I look forward to hearing from you in the challenge.